make the playoffs this season, but no, it's actually ridiculously close. And it's created basically essentially like every single match now, I think, for the rest of the season is gonna in some way affect who makes the playoffs, which is fantastic. That's exactly what we want. We don't want any useless matches, because then we just get people probe rushing. So that's no good. Anyway, game number 1 is gonna be Great coming out, playing a ZVZ Mirrors for the win. Unfortunately, Great is 0-6 this season. He has yet to win a single game. 0-2 in ZVZs, and that makes me a little bit nervous for him because ZVZ is his weakest matchup, and also KT has like Action and Hoja, who aren't necessarily, like, you don't immediately think of them when you think of top tier ZVZers, but last season in the playoffs they actually owned players like Effort. I think Action was like 2-0 against Effort in ZVZ or something, so that was pretty crazy. But no, it looks like it's gonna be Crazy-Hydra. One thing also to note, by the way, is that it's not just the matches, like winning a match, that will determine the result. Apparently also some of the individual scores of the matches may affect things, particularly the rankings, because what's even better about this is if you look at the scores, apart from Khan and Stars, who have like really high plus scores, everyone else is really close. Teammate is +6, +2, +1, -1, -3. Essentially, 4 O's for any of the teams could swing things and change their places in the rankings. And as I've been saying in previous weeks, you know, the actual ranking that you end up on in 1 to 4 actually does make a huge difference going into playoffs. So, that being said, let us go into the game. Air Force Ace, unfortunately, has been taking a lot of losses recently. I believe they are on a 5-match loss streak or something like that, so not doing so hot. It was funny because in round 2 they actually started winning a few matches. I think at one point they actually had more wins than losses in round 2, but yeah, it's kind of fallen back. Also, let me put this back to 4-3. Oops, because I had it on 16-9 just now. There we go. Alright, so for some reason my bottom is cut off now. What the hell? How did that happen? Wait, how's my bottom getting cut off? What, do you guys see that? Alright, let me just stretch it out again. Did that fix it? Okay, apparently that fixed it. I don't understand why my minimap is getting cut off when I'm in 4-3. If anyone can explain that to me, that'd be awesome. But Great will be the blue Zerg at the bottom left. Crazy-Hydra will be the teal Zerg at the top right. Yeah! Air Force Ace fighting! Okay, this thing is now way too long. I'm just gonna call Crazy-Hydra CH. Or I'm gonna call him Crazy H, because that sounds pretty badass. Crazy H and B-Dog hanging out. Yeah! Awesome timing, goo. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry about having to have this stretched. I really don't know why I can't just change it down. Let me just try again. You see, the bottom of the minimap is cut off. I don't understand. Can I do like fit to screen or something? Always fit window. Don't always fit window. Holy Jesus, what the hell? Alright, go back. Go back. Okay, judging from that thing, it looks like it's just cut off if I don't do 69 anyway, so I'm just gonna do that. Turn off full screen? Did that really work? Hold on, let me see what the builds are. It looks like 12 hatch versus pool first from Crazy-Hydra, but I don't think it was a 9 pool because I see the second Overlord. So this is actually going to benefit Great, actually. Sorry guys, I'll figure this out after this game. I don't want to miss too much now, considering it is a ZVZ, so things do move at a fairly quick pace. So seeing the expansion here, I'm presuming that this is in fact a 12 pool expand, which immediately gives the build order advantage to Great, going for the 12 hatch. especially being cross-map. There's absolutely nothing that these Zerglings from Crazy-Hydra will be able to do early on. Of course, that since he does have the earlier pull, though, he is going to have slightly faster tech. Let's see if he goes for Lair first or Ling Speed first. When you go for a 12 full expand, usually you're a little bit more defensive with your Lings anyway, so you can't just go straight for Lair if you want. And similarly with the 12 hatch player, he's also going to be defensive with his Lings. Now, looks like the Lings are moving out for Crazy-Hydra. Nope, he's actually just sending out scouting Lings. Okay, see, that was a little bit confusing to me. When you go for a 12 full expand, you should not really be moving out with all your Lings. He has instead just sent out 2 Zerglings, one to the bottom right, one cross map, just to see where his opponent is, and since his Overlord went to the top left. It looks like now he does see his opponent has actually got an expansion up, so now he knows that it's a 12 hatch. He's sending all his Lings cross map, but I'm really not too sure what he thinks he can do right here. I guess he's just going to try and put on a little bit of pressure, maybe pretend like he's going for more Ling aggression. Whoa! That is pretty crazy. Great has actually just thrown down a 3rd hatchery here. That is very, very unusual to see. You almost never see that 3rd hatchery for a very, very long time in ZVZ. It's always 1 or 2 hatch play. Barring some weird circumstances where you like 12 hatch in your main and then expand or something like that. But whoa, one Zergling's going to get into the main, and he's going to see this lack of tech. He's going to be a little bit confused here. There's 300 minerals missing from the build that he would be expecting. Oh my god, this is absolutely critical. This Zergling scout, I cannot believe Great let that into his base. He had like 10 Zerglings at the front. He should have blocked that. That is really, really bad for him. Now a lot of Lings are moving out. Now the thing is, this is actually not the first time we've seen Great use this build. Great actually made it to the was it the finals? Yeah, he made it to the finals of an MSL once, where like the final 4 were all Zergs, and he actually beat Zero in the semifinals and then played Hydra, lost to Hydra in the finals. But Great actually showed us a lot of innovation in ZVZ. He pulled out a lot of wacky builds like borrowed Zerglings and this kind of fast 3-hatch play that we never really seen before. And he actually made it work. This kind of super fast 3-hatch, I actually saw him make it work. But it is a little bit dangerous now that it's been scouted. I'm sure Crazy-Hydra knows the games that I'm talking about as well, and has an idea roughly what's coming. Basically the plan is, you can make a bunch of Zerglings early on, you have so much more larva, you can pressure your opponent. Obviously your tech is super delayed, so all you do is you turtle up on spore colonies, and then just like have 3 bases and just like spore up, sunken up, and drone up essentially. You get a really good economy. And this is the kind of opening that actually leads to the legendary hive level ZVZ, which is almost never seen in Brood War ZVZ. I know in oh my god, what are you doing? Oh my god, Great just loses a random drone there. What the hell? Wow. Great Zergling control really just proving inferior to Crazy-Hydra's here. I mean, letting that initial Link Scout in and now losing a random drone. I don't know what he was looking at for him to lose that drone. That is really, really bad. But anyway, yeah. So, like, for the StarCraft 2 players, I know, recently ZVZs have occasionally been going to the Hive a little bit more often, especially with all the big maps now in the map pool, like Metropolis, where you can often actually see Hive-level ZVZs. But in Brood War, this is just very, 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 very rare. And when it happens, it creates, like, some of the most memorable, some of the greatest games of all time. Essentially, whenever you see a Hive-level ZVZ, it automatically goes into, like, a Pimpus Play video. Like those highlight reels on YouTube, it's like 2011 StarCraft highlights. If you get Hive level, it's just like instant entry. Anyway, looks like, yep, as I said, so the first mutas are out. They're going to give Crazy-Hydra map control, but Great doesn't really care too much about that. He just wants to turtle anyway, because he's got his 3 bases. He knows he'll be in a good position going into the mid/late game. The quote-unquote ZVZ late game. I'm a little bit curious about that neutral creep, by the way. I guess that's just an emergency one in case he needs another sunken. But yeah, this should be this is actually a decent position for Great, even though he got scouted. I mean, being cross-map, it's not like it's particularly easy for Crazy-Hydra to punish him or anything. He is sending out a lot of Zerglings actually, along with his mutas. Great might actually need a sunken colony here. In fact, if he wants to defend this, he has one thing now. He actually sees the train of Zerglings coming in. He's building another creep colony in his natural, but this could actually just be a break here. Oh man, this could actually be very, very difficult for Great to deal with. Looks like the mutas though, they're actually not going in for an attack with the Lings at the front. They're just going to go harass at the back here, which was a little bit curious to me. I thought he was just going to go in straight away in the front, just mutilating bust at the natural, but instead he's just kind of poking around here, just trying to pick off what he can. I mean, I guess it's not a bad idea, just soften up Great a little bit before actually committing to any kind of attack. But actually he's moving back with the Lings, picking up a couple more drones here. Really, Great did kind of skimp on the spore colonies. I'm a little bit surprised that he only has one at each base. Oh my god, he's losing so many drones. Wow, this is horrible. Oh my god, he just lost like another 5 drones there or something. That's ridiculous. This is actually like should not happen when you're going for great style here. I can't believe he only made 1 spore at his main and his natural. I thought, like, when I saw the 1 spore at the third, I was like, okay, the third isn't as big a deal, but he'll definitely have 2 spores at the main and natural. Because you also, the thing is, you know, you might say, well, you know, usually you don't want to build too many static defenses, and that's correct. But in this case, because you're being so defensive, you can also make up for it by droning a lot. Whereas normally, you know, Zergs would be making Lings and Mutas instead. So I'm really kind of questioning this. Oh god, look at that. This is horrible drone saturation. Even though he's got the 3 hatches, I don't think he's ahead at all. And look at this. Now the 3rd hatchery is up as well for Crazy-Hydra. So, well, I mean, it's still fairly even, you know, in terms of supply at least. If you look at the supplies, about a 5 supply difference now. It was a little bit smaller just now. But looks like 39 to 45 or so. Great, just wasting a lot of Scourges here, though. That's not ideal. I mean, I can kind of understand what happened there. I mean, you know, basically he lost a bunch of drones, so he had a lot of extra gas. Actually, he still has a lot of extra gas. If you look at the bottom right, he's got over 800 gas right now, but only 100 minerals. And he's had to rebuild a lot of drones as well. And Scourge are 25 minerals and 75 gas for a pair. So usually in this situation, you know, as the Zerg who's kind of has all the extra gas, you just make a bunch of Scourge trying to ward away your opponent's mutas. But the problem is, you know, with good muta micro like Crazy-Hydra is showing us here, he's really not going to take too many Scourge hits now that his muta numbers are high. So his muta numbers will just keep increasing, and you're just throwing away Scourge and not increasing your own muta numbers. So eventually he's just going to have an overwhelming number of muta, and oh, it looks like a drone over here at the 3 o'clock was trying to expand, but one link from Great is going to deny that. Very, very smart by Great. Of course, Great knows that essentially since he's being so turtley, you know, I mean, the 2 obvious responses for Crazy-Hydra are either 1, I'm just going to go kill him and break him, or I'll just like outbreed him. You know, I have map control, so I can actually expand faster. And that's actually what he's doing here. Of course, I think it's very, very smart, not going for the break, just doing this harassment. And Great, of course, also knows that since you know, he hasn't seen any big break going on the front. He just sees the mutas harassing a lot. He knows that that's probably what Crazy-Hydra was thinking there. Wow, random mutas suicide. So looks like Great is still massing up his own mutas, still just chilling at his natural. But Crazy-Hydra now has taken the 3 o'clock base, and he's also got +1 carapace on his mutas. Very, very important, that +1 carapace, because of course it applies actually 3 times per mutalisk attack because of the bounce. So the muta shot actually bounces and does like 3 separate attacks basically, and armors applied to all 3 of them. And one thing to know is also, like, so the +1 carapace also indicates that you're planning for a longer term game, and yes, there is the Queen's Nest. That is exactly what I thought we would see from Great here. Great. Definitely one of the more creative ZVZers, at least, in addition to Zero, I guess. Going for that high level play, not afraid to experiment with that kind of stuff. And now the question is he actually going for Hive? Yes, he is going for Hive. See, there's a lot of options you can do here. Sometimes you can get the Queen's Nest just to get queens, and you get Ensnare, because the thing is, any kind of AoE spell is amazing in mass muta battles, because as air units, they all stack a lot. Look at how much these mutas are stacking. You can hit so many mutas with 1 spell. So you can get queens for Ensnare, or if you go for Hive, there's 2 options now. You can either go for Defilers and Plague, which is amazing, or you can get Devourers, which is also amazing. Because Devourers, not only are they good, do they actually just help you in the direct air-to-air battle, but they also have that, you know, that splash bonus that makes your mutas a lot more effective. But oh my god, it looks like we might not even get there here. The mutas of Crazy-Hydra just going in and taking out the mineral only there. A lot more spores need to be placed here. Yeah, more spores are being built as the mutas of Great go into the main base here. It looks like it might just turn into some kind of weird base race here, and usually that favors a player who has all the static defenses. However, in this case, I think Crazy-Hydra might just have too many mutas here, and Great getting caught doing this Hive transition. The perfect timing here for Crazy-Hydra. The Hive finishes, but there's no way he's going to get his tech up in time. Great is in a lot of trouble right now. It looks like we might not actually see the Hive level play after all, unfortunately. Crazy-Hydra just hitting the perfect timing, knowing that Great would be going for this kind of transition, not allowing him to actually complete it. And I mean, you know, Crazy-Hydra is going to lose his Spire now, but he's just got far too many mutas with good upgrades for that to even make a difference. Some Lings upgrade are going to 3 o'clock here. It looks like some mutas of Crazy-Hydra have come home to defend. And even though these Lings probably are going to kill this expansion, I don't think it's going to matter. The drone's being pulled, but some more Lings coming in to help defend. Actually, he might not even get that hatchery. Meanwhile, Great just losing everything in his main base. I hope he at least just made like 2 queens for lulz or something. So Crazy-Hydra is now at 76 supply against the 30 supply of Great. I mean, obviously it's over. Looks like a Defiler Mound was actually made at the natural, but that's really not going to do anything. And he can't even stop these Lings. Oh, saves the Spore Colony. That's very nice. But yeah, this game is basically over. I'm pretty sure Crazy-Hydra can actually just break that expansion now. But he's just going to finish off the Hive first. So Crazy-Hydra has denied us a Hive level ZVZ, which makes me very, very sad. But, I mean, you can't blame him. You know, as I said, KT kind of needs to win today's match if they want any hope of making the playoffs. So, play to win, man. Play to win. And GG from Great. Crazy-Hydra takes game number 1. But I gotta say, Great, thank you for trying something different, saving us from the monotony of mirror matchups, and especially Brood War ZVZs.